November 23rd, 2019, that would be the day that Zombies is officially introduced inside of Call of Duty Mobile. And now that it has been, a little bit over a year now since that has happened, I decided why not, let's go ahead, take a trip back and take a look at the evolution of Zombies inside of COD Mobile, how it started, and why it would ultimately be removed and never to be seen ever again, at least as of right now. But before we get right into it, if you guys can do me a quick favor, go ahead and drop a like down below if you do enjoy the video, and also subscribe if you're new around here as well. But with all that being said, let's go ahead, take a trip back to 2018. On the screen right now, what you're looking at is the alpha version of what it used to be known as Call of Duty Legends of War. That is right. Nowadays, we know it as Call of Duty Mobile, but before, it was actually known as Call of Duty Legends of War. And as you guys can see right here, this was the home screen of the alpha version of the game. The alpha version was first launched in Australia all the way back in December of 2018. As you guys can see, we had two modes. Obviously, we had our good old multiplayer. However, we did also have an early version of Zombies. Inside of the alpha version of Zombies, instead of having, the traditional survival mode where you basically try to survive as long as you can, we actually ended up receiving more of a story type mode. So basically, there was 9 different missions that you had to complete, and there was also various different locations that you would end up going. For example, you would end up going to farm, diner, and also bus depot. When you actually jumped into a brand new mission, you would be introduced to a commander, which would basically tell you and also instruct you what to do. You would be given a set amount of objectives that you had to pretty much go out and complete in every single mission. For example, we had objectives such as, searching an area of the map, trying to find clues or evidence, and also, of course, clearing out waves of zombies. And if you were able to successfully complete every single objective, then you would ultimately end up beating that mission, and then you would be able to move on to the next. Towards the end of the zombie story mode, you would end up fighting against 2 different bosses. The first one that you would encounter would be the Butcher, and the second one would end up being the 3-headed Hellhound boss. This would actually end up being the final mission of the zombie story mode. Once you actually completed the entire story mode, there really wasn't anything else to do. You didn't really receive any special rewards. However, it really didn't matter in the end because ultimately the alpha version of COD Mobile would soon be shut down, and then we would later receive the beta version of COD Mobile. This was the time that Battle Royale was first introduced. Obviously, multiplayer was still there. However, as you guys can see, Zombies was no longer there. As a matter of fact, it had the words "coming soon," indicating that eventually it would come back later in the future. As many of you guys probably already know, Call of Duty Mobile officially globally launched on October 1st, 2019, and pretty much the same thing happened again. Multiplayer was there, Battle Royale was there, but Zombies was still not available to play on the global launch of COD Mobile, which made a lot of people question when was Zombies finally going to arrive inside of the game. However, those questions were finally answered when COD Mobile themselves announced that Zombies was going to officially arrive on November 23rd, 2019, just in time for the launch of Season 2. The first map that was introduced, and also later we will find out that this was the only map that was introduced for Zombies inside of the global version of COD Mobile, was no other than Shi no Numa. Inside of Zombies, we received 3 different game modes. The first one was the good old classic survival game mode. This was basically the traditional survive as long as you can, with never-ending waves of zombies coming at you. The other 2 were normal and also hardcore raid. This one was a little bit more unique, mainly because you only had 12 rounds in which you basically had to loot up, buy perks, and basically get yourself prepared for the boss fight that you will encounter at the very end. there was two different bosses that you could fight. The first one by default was the Abomination boss. Basically this spider looking really weird creature that you would have to go ahead and try to defeat either by yourself or with a squad. Also, not to mention, you still needed to account for the zombies that were scattered all around the area. So this was definitely not an easy boss fight whatsoever. But if you were able to successfully complete either a normal or a hardcore raid, then you would be rewarded with shards. That is right, there was multiple different rewards that you can get simply by just grinding the zombies mode. For example, we had Tank Dempsey, the lava axe, and also the J358 Abomination skin, all of which you had the opportunity to get absolutely for free. Also, it wouldn't be zombies without the good old Easter eggs. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a couple of Easter eggs that you can go ahead and complete inside of Shinonuma. However, the main Easter egg actually allowed you to fight against a different boss. In order to actually complete this Easter egg, you had to find repair parts, which was scattered around all over the main center building. Once you actually acquired 2 of those repair parts, you had to go up to this elevator right here. Once you actually repaired the elevator itself, you would then be able to actually use the elevator to go underground and basically go to the second part of the map. Once you did a little bit of exploring underground, you would end up finding this room right here. And inside of this room, there was actually some documents on a lab table that you can actually interact with. However, there was also these really weird plants that you actually had to shoot down and kill every single one of them. Once you were able to do that, then you would have to go over to a second room, which would then allow you to actually gain access to a computer terminal. And once you actually interacted with this computer terminal, you would then end up finishing the last step of this Easter egg, and instead of fighting the Abomination boss, it would actually switch over to another boss, which was called Jaboko. Of course, there was other Easter eggs here and there, but this was basically the main one, which not only allowed you to explore a completely different part of the map, but also it allowed you to fight against a completely different boss. Aside from that, you know, everything else was pretty standard for a zombies mode. Obviously, we had the good old classic Perca-Colas such as Juggernaut, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, and also a couple of others. We also had coins, which was pretty similar to the Gobble Gum from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And also we had buffs, which basically gave you bonuses such as increased weapon damage, increased health, and a couple of other bonuses as well. And of course, it wouldn't be zombies without the good old mystery box. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We also had the mystery box inside of Shinonuma. And with it, you actually had a chance of obtaining the ray gun, which was definitely a weapon that you absolutely needed, especially if you're going for high rounds inside of survival mode. And overall, this was basically what zombies looked like all the way back in November of 2019. And while things might have looked pretty good to begin with, we were about to receive some pretty bad news. Fast forward to February 29th, 2020, Call of Duty Mobile themselves announced that they would be removing Zombies mode on March 25th. As you guys can see right here, this was their statement, basically saying that the mode didn't reach the level of quality that they desired. And on the bottom here, they also said, we may bring the mode back with Nashet der Untoten, which was actually supposed to be the second Zombies map that was supposed to be released inside of the global version of COD Mobile, but unfortunately it never did. But going back to the statement, it says, we may bring the mode back once we can make sure it is high enough quality, but for now, we'll focus on development for multiplayer, battle royale, and ranked mode. So yeah, pretty much March 25th comes along and Zombies gets removed. And the day that I'm recording this, which is November 29th, 2020, it has now been a little bit over 8 months now that Zombies has been removed inside of COD Mobile. However, to this day, I still don't really understand why COD Mobile never put out any major updates for Zombies, because when you think about it, we had the same map, the same rewards, ever since the launch of Zombies all the way back in November, and they never ended up giving us any new content. We never received any new rewards, any new maps, and as a matter of fact, some of these same issues and bugs that we had ever since the launch of Zombies was never fixed or was just simply never addressed. So obviously, because of this, people are going to quit, people are going to stop playing Zombies, which is unfortunately probably also one of the reasons why they ended up removing it, because COD Mobile probably saw that there wasn't really that many people playing Zombies. But then again, how do you expect people to play the mode if it never actually receives any major updates? If we just have the same old content, how do you expect anybody to continue playing that specific mode? And to this day, we still have not received any information, any leaks, nothing whatsoever of a possible return of Zombies inside of COD Mobile in the near future, which is pretty unfortunate because I feel like Zombies had so much potential of being something great inside of COD Mobile, and no longer having Zombies right now in COD Mobile, it feels like we're almost missing a part of the game, you know? Obviously, we have multiplayer, we have Battle Royale, but I feel like Zombies was the one mode that kind of made COD Mobile a complete game. But regardless, I'm still hoping that one day Zombies will indeed make a comeback inside of Call of Duty Mobile. But until then, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys did make it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, feel free to drop a like down below if you did enjoy the video. And also don't forget to subscribe as well. But with all that being said, stay safe out there. Hope you guys are having an awesome day so far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.